afternoon, teachers, and happy Easter. I want to welcome you all to our Easter celebration this afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I know that many of you traveled very far from your respective schools throughout the country. Before I begin, I want to first introduce myself. My name is Mia Foster White, and I am the Foreign Teachers Director here at the SDA Language Institute. Before our program officially begins, Dr. Kim, the Institute's director, asked me to say a few words about the email you should have received this past week. Your directors of your school should have also discussed this email in your weekly meetings as well. After I make this announcement, I will open the floor for a few questions. However, I know many of you will have many more questions and concerns considering the changes that are coming to the school. Therefore, Dr. Kim has decided to have a symposium in 2 weeks from today on Sunday, April 3rd at 2 p.m. right here in this building. And at that time, we will go more in depth of why we're making these changes and answer any more questions that you may have. The school wants to know that this decision was not entered lightly. A lot of thought and concern was put into making this decision. And that decision is that the school is going to change the age requirements for all foreign teachers. Currently, you can teach with the school up to the age of 65. But the school, beginning in January 2017, will change the age to 35. Meaning when your contract comes for renewal starting January 2017 or later, if you are over the age of 35, unfortunately the school will not be able to renew your contract at that time. As many of you know, the SDA Language School has a strong presence here in Korea, which opened its doors back in 1969. And because we have had such a long presence here, we have obtained the gold standard for Korea being the best language school in the country. We reached our peak enrollment in 2009 when we had 56,000 students. Unfortunately, that enrollment has dropped dramatically today, and we only now have 9,000 students coming to our classes. And we contribute that to many factors. One being that, in general, families are no longer having as many kids. Therefore, we don't have as many students available to us. Another reason is also that the Korean government is putting more money into the public schools to help lower the financial burden on parents. But what we believe really is the biggest difference is that there is more competition in the market. There is now a language school in every corner in Korea. When we first started, we were the only one. And because of that fact, we had the advantage of being first to the market. We were able to build up our school and build up a strong reputation and receive that gold standard that so many of our students really became to love and enjoy. And since we've been open, we have educated 5 million students within the Korean population in the English language, which accounts for about 10% of the country's total population. But we have found that many of our students are now leaving us. And as we have studied our competition, we have found that one of the reasons, or the strongest reasons that they are leaving us, is because many students here in Korea just desire a youthful and younger instructor. And it's for that reason that Dr. Kim and his team have decided to change the age limits from 65 to 35. In doing so, we will unfortunately lose about 30% of our teachers here. And as we are saddened to see many of our dedicated teachers leave, we are hopeful that you will grow to understand that our decision was made to ensure that SDA will return to the gold standard that we once had. As I said in the beginning, Dr. Kim will hold a symposium in 2 weeks to further address these changes right here on Sunday, April 3rd at 2 p.m. in this building. But right now, I will open the floor for a few questions for about 2 to 3 minutes.
Ms. Foster White, you say that we're the best school in South Korea, and I agree with you, but it seems like you're going to be getting rid of all the teachers that made this the best school in South Korea. How do you respond to that?
We feel that all of our teachers are well trained, and even though our more seasoned teachers are leaving they have left an impact on our current teachers that will be able to stay. And we're confident that our younger teachers will be able to keep on that tradition that has already been set.
You say that you're changing this because the students want a younger teachers. That seems like a ridiculous reason to change. And why do you think you're just going to change the rules because kids say it? We're the adults here. This is nonsense.
I understand your frustration, and I think we have to remember that we're thinking of a Korean standard versus a Western standard. In Korea, the standard is different than it is in America. Yes, appearances are important in America, but they're so much more so in Korea. They're really tenfold. Appearance is everything here in Korea. And also, we also must remember that we're not only teaching children, we also have adult staff or adult students as well. And it is also the adults who are choosing the schools, not just the kids.
What about the possibility that it's not the age of the teacher that makes the difference, but it's the rapport they have with the student regardless of the age?
Well, we feel because in Korea there's so much emphasis put on age. For example, many of you know from living here that you can only be friends with somebody that's within 2 years of your age range. So this is why age is such a big deal here. It's not like it is at home. So even though you may like somebody or feel comfortable with somebody that's older, normally you don't socialize with them unless they're really close to their age. And so that's why we feel that this will be better for us here.
Is this new policy expected to increase enrollment in your program?
We are hopeful that more students will return back to our school once they see that we have more youthful staff available to them that they're looking for.
Is this legal?
It is indeed legal. We do make sure that we follow all rules and regulations here at the school.
This is such a very, very big change. Do you have plans for evaluating this change almost from day one on through a certain length of time? In other words, would you be open to going backwards if it were indicated?
If we feel that there's not a positive change after a year of testing out the younger staff, then Dr. Kim and his staff at that time will reevaluate.
They would reevaluate.
So I will close the floor for right now. Please join us for the symposium in 2 weeks if you have any other additional questions for Dr. Kim. Thank you.